Welcome back to Partners Dog School. I'm super excited to be meeting with a puppy dachshund named Sopita, who will be dropped off shortly by her parents. I'll be checking in with them to see what we can do to help her through her training the next few weeks. Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm one of the trainers here at Partners. I'm so excited I get to work with another dachshund, but let's go see why they decided they needed us to do some training. So let's see, what are our goals here starting out with Sopita and her being so young? I love that you guys are starting so young, but like kind of what are the issues that you guys are having at home? What are your goals for her leaving here, stuff like that?
Well, definitely number one, walking on a leash.
Perfect.
Yeah, that would help a lot.
Okay.
Eating feces.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she's a poop eater?
Yeah, she's a poop eater for sure. Yeah, that would be cool if we could get that to stop.
Yeah.
else?
She specifically barks at me only. She like bullies me. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
We make jokes that she like only bullies me.
Yeah.
But it's always when she wants something. Like she does a good job living it. She has to use the restroom, things like that.
So she's kind of demanding of you.
Oh yeah, she's
okay.
demanding.
Perfect.
Stubborn.
Yeah, the barking is like not too big of an issue. It's really mostly like what she said when she wants something.
She's just demanding of it.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Is she destructive or anything at home?
If she could get to things, she might.
I feel like it was worse when she was younger, but
Yeah.
now she just mostly I feel like goes for her toys.
Yeah.
Just her toys?
Yeah.
That's okay. So it's just mainly the leash walking, poop eating, and then her being demanding, kind of barking demanding.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And there's no other really big key things we're looking for?
Like she doesn't have these tendencies, but I don't want her to be like in like a flight mode. For the doors opened. We lost our previous dog while he was being watched because he ran out. So I definitely am we're trying to like really good at making sure she's like behaved and knows not
Doesn't
to run
have
out.
that fight or flight response, which she doesn't. I feel like she doesn't really right now. But if we can try and prevent that from becoming a thing.
Or being like okay around other people, just like, you know, which is why we also want to do this. That way she has other people around her, like taking care of her. Socialization with dogs. She's more interested in people than dogs, for sure.
Yeah, that's okay. So here, these are all reasonable expectations of her and of me. I think that she's gonna be awesome. I think that she's going to be able to come home, and as long as you guys are following through, I think she's gonna do amazing at home and transferring all of this. So with the leash walking, all of these things that you guys are looking for, while she's here, I'm going to teach her a foundation of obedience. So for, in a sense, the leash walking, she's gonna learn how to walk on a leash correctly. For the barking, you're going to be able to give her guidance and she's gonna understand what the word no means. I'm not gonna be mean to her, obviously, or anything, but I'm going to hold her accountable. Because if she knows something, I want her to do that command that I give her. So with a lot of the issues you have, you can kind of dial back in on the obedience, and then that way that foundation can help work you guys through different situations that you guys come up with, which I think is really awesome. I use it for my dogs every day. It's pretty cool to have just as, you know, just in case, like if she were to bolt out, you guys have a good recall on her, so she'll come back, things like that. So while she's here, she's going to learn heel, sit, down, stay, place, and come. So she's gonna have all of those 6 commands under her belt, and then it's just up to you guys to continue that. We give you, you know, all these different alternatives to help you guys as well if it's hard to manage at home, which it can be at first. That first week is probably gonna be a little bit harder for you guys, but we do pet parenting classes and things like that so that you guys feel super comfortable. Sopita's first day went great. We focused mainly on just continuing to build her confidence and then just having her kind of practice being calm in the kennel because she's a little bit nervous when she's by herself in a new setting, obviously, and then in a kennel space as well, seeing a bunch of dogs and people walk by. It can be a little bit overwhelming for them their first couple of days. So we just worked on her being calm in the kennel, settling down, walking on different textures, jumping on place beds, going through different obstacle courses just to build that confidence up so that it makes working for me a little bit more fun for her in the next few days.
Alrighty. So right now, again, have Sopita out for only our 2nd or 3rd session. So again, always a big focus of mine is just simply, you know, working a lot on that relationship building, you know, getting her used to kind of understanding that I am the most valuable thing right now. Again, as you can see, she doesn't really care too much about me right now. Very fixated on everything else that's going on around the room, all the treats on the floor, scratching herself, the dog's barking, Lena coming in right here. So again, she's just very an easily distracted dog, which is very, very natural for a high drive, young puppy like this. So one thing that I kind of was testing her out with before we started filming, which is seeing how well and responsive she was to a lot of her commands. So Sopita, hey, Sopita, hey, Sopita. Hey, yes, sit. Hey, sit. Good girl. So again, right there, you can kind of see, even though, I have a pretty high value treat on me, and she is fairly a food motivated dog, but there's going to be those times to where her puppy brain kind of takes over and she kind of just loses interest in what I have going on. So again, a big thing that we need to continue focusing on with her is just kind of her duration of her engagement that she's able to keep on the handler or the trainer. Very good girl. So again, right now, just very, very basic. I'm just kind of continuously rewarding her for sitting and staying in this sit stay right here. Just trying to keep her focus up on me. Sopita, sit, yes. But even though she is all over the place, she actually is pretty responsive and seems like she knows a majority of her command, doing well with those sits, with those downs and everything like that. But a big thing that I'm kind of noticing is she's definitely all over the place on that leash. She doesn't really understand leash manners or doesn't quite understand that heel yet. So that's definitely what I want to start working on right now. Very good girl. Yes.
To close up on Sopita's first week of training, she did really, really good. We practiced a lot of her sits and her downs, which she already kind of had the hang of when she came in, but we just moved that to our left side just so that she's in the heel position. She followed the lure really well, did really great with her shaping of everything to kind of start in that first week. Building her confidence was super easy. She was super eager to walk over new textures and things like that. She loved learning new tricks from Mila. But the next things that we're going to have to really focus on in her week 2 is just her leash manners. She's not really wanting to follow us when we're walking on the leash, even though that's what we've been really practicing on. And then just building a lot of duration, such as on place or in her downstay, and then finishing that recall with a nice sit. She wants to just kind of plow into you instead of doing her sit once she finally gets to your feet. So those are just a few hurdles that we are trying to overcome, but we'll definitely get there in that next week.